Do you know someone who's experienced the power of prayer? Already grounded with God's gift of faith and equipped with the coping skills I already learned in counseling, another childhood sexual violence survivor helped me use prayer to heal from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. In my April 22nd blog post, I told you about my healing story from the PTSD I suffered resulting from childhood sexual violence at the hands of my father. However, I don't think I made it clear it was by the grace of God and the power of prayer that I no longer suffer from it anymore. I want you to know that when I talk about the power of prayer, I'm speaking from experience. In unity with God the Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, you have inside you the most powerful force in the universe or anywhere else. That's why I keep telling you, you have God's spiritual DNA inside of you because you do. You just need to learn how to use it. In today's reading, Barnabas is at the church in Antioch, surrounded by prophets and teachers. Listen to a few verses. While there, worshiping the Lord and fasting, the Holy Spirit said, "Set apart for me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them." Then, completing their fasting and prayer, they laid hands on them and sent them off. This is one of many examples in the Bible of the power of prayer that I used to overlook. We're supposed to pray at all times and all places, which seems naive, but what's naive is to think we can do it all on our own, with little or no prayer at all. Would you expect an Olympic athlete to earn a gold medal if they never trained with a coach, had no support from your family or anyone else? Survivors need counseling, support from loved ones, and God's loving guidance. He's available 24/7, so there's no excuse not to be working toward your healing transformation in your life, whether it's from a traumatic experience like mine, being in the depths of despair over loss of a loved one or a job, or overcoming the pain of divorce or another life-changing event. God's love also helps us focus on the light in our lives, which helps us catch ourselves before we slip so far into the darkness that we're not sure we'll ever come back. He reminds us to laugh, love, and be joyful. That's why we should rejoice, like in today's psalm. Listen to the last two verses. Sing praise to the Lord with the harp and melodious song, with trumpets and the sound of the horn. Sing joyfully before the King, the Lord. The Lord has revealed to the nations his saving power. I used to hate, and I do mean hate, today's gospel about forgiveness whenever I heard it. Now I understand that forgiveness is all about me, not my Father. I'm not just saying that, hear me out. My father had already passed away when I forgave him. If the person who assaulted or abused you or your loved one is still living, it's up to you or them to decide whether or not you want to tell them in person that you forgive them, write a letter, and maybe never even send it to them. The point is to truly forgive them. Even if you only do so in a writing session during counseling, that's where you decide with the help of your therapist. I can't begin to tell you how his evil acts slashed my soul to shreds and led me to consider suicide again and again. Last year, while sobbing nonstop, I told my friend Becky at her father's wake that I was sorry that her father passed and hoped to give her some consolation that she and her family were blessed with such a good man as a father, since mine was not. A family friend of theirs, William Rosado, asked me if I forgive my father. I told him that he did, and he told me he didn't think so, because then I wouldn't be crying and upset. He said I would only be pain-free when I truly forgave my father. Then his power would be gone, and so would my PTSD, and he was right. He said he could help me overcome my pain, gave me his phone number, and said I could call or email him anytime. What people don't understand is that when rape survivors have flashbacks like other trauma survivors, they relive the trauma they experienced as if it's happening to them again. So the terror never ends and they never heal fully. Survivors are taught to focus our minds in the present moment when flashbacks occur, which helps somewhat, but they still experience the trauma as if it's happening again for the first time. With William's help, I truly forgive my father, and I've been PTSD free since July 7th, 2014. I still believe justice should be served and that child predators should be jailed or punished to the full extent of the law. That hasn't changed. What I'm telling you is that forgiveness heals survivors, and it begins with getting counseling, a lot of prayer, and support from loved ones. Bearing in mind my story, and remembering that God has commanded us to love one another, listen to a few verses from the Gospel. Therefore, If you bring your gift to the altar, and there recall that your brother has anything against you, leave your gift there at the altar, go first and be reconciled with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. If you've been blessed with a healing transformation in your life, you've experienced the power of the resurrection like I did. God never ceases to amaze me. After suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder for my entire life, I still cannot believe that I no longer suffer from it. To me, that's a miracle. Long before healing from PTSD, I was a nervous wreck. I periodically had suicidal thoughts, and I felt like I was going crazy. Today, I'm a happy and peaceful person. Every sexual violence survivor, every trauma survivor deserves to live a happy and peaceful life. Maybe you don't feel like it right now, but you are in control of your life. Together, you and God can do anything. By the grace of God, and it's all by the grace of God that I receive the counseling I need, God's continual support, guidance, and love and prayer, and the support of loved ones. The power of prayer saved my life, transformed it, and can do the same for you. God bless you. And be sure to take care of God's prayer.